So this week I've been testing out the Ryseab air inflator, and here are my thoughts after using it this week. So after unboxing it, I went ahead and charged it, which took about 4 to 6 hours depending on what my current charge level is. The nice part is this is fully charged when it says that it is, unlike some other units that I have that needed a little bit of a trickle charge after saying it was completely charged. All right, so I found two of my children's balls here that are very flat, so I thought this would be a great chance to try out the Ryseab on these. And so far I'm very impressed with this unit. It is a little bit chunkier, but I can tell it has more mass, so I'm assuming we've got more battery life, and it seems to take more of a charge. So I'm putting more watts, almost 3 times the amount of watts of some of my other handheld portable tire inflators. So I'm thinking this is going to have a little bit more juice to pump things up, but let's go ahead and try it out. So we are going to just take this. And one thing I like right off the bat is this hose is almost twice as long as some of my other portable tire inflators. Which I like, because that means you can truly set this on the ground, pump up a tire even on a car, and just kind of walk away. If the cord is a lot shorter, you know, you really don't want this hanging on a valve stem, because it does have enough weight, and I wouldn't want to do that. Also, I'm really liking this quick release. I love those connections. It's so much easier and you lose less air. So let's go ahead. It does come with this ball attachment. So let's seat it in there, clamp it, and then to turn this on, we're just going to hold down the power button. And it does have a few settings here. So we are on PSI, and you can change it to motorcycle, bicycle, ball, car. And then if you want, you can go ahead, which I do, just go up and down, let it flash. And once it's done flashing, then it's locked in your desired pressure. You can go between PSI, bar, KPA, and kg/cm. All right, so the instructions are saying to use the bicycle mode, that's actually going to be the highest pressure. So right there, we're on bicycle mode, and it should let us go to 150 PSI. Yep, so let's try this now. I was able to get this ball pumped up in about 30 seconds. All right, one thing I'm noticing right away, this thing does pack quite a bit more of a punch than a lot of the other pocket devices that I have, but I will say it is definitely louder. So right now I'm in my basement with the kids sleeping, and this is definitely too loud to be running down here. So we'll go ahead and go to the next test, which is something I didn't even know this had for a feature, which is really cool. This is actually also a portable power bank. So you've got your USB-C connection on the bottom. All you have to do to enable that is to press and hold the top button. And now the display for your pressure went away, and it's flashing this battery, which means it's now in charging mode. So if I take a USB-C connector and we put that down, we can now actually charge, in this case, my battery bank. And it is charging. And the nice part about this battery bank is it'll actually show us what we are charging at. Actually, we are upside down on the screen, but we are charging at about 10.2 watts, which is actually very good. A lot of these devices will max out at like 5 watts, but this one is putting in 10 watts, which is, again, really quite good for something like this. So I think this is probably the most common use for something like this, which is pumping up car tires. I don't know if this is necessarily meant for truck tires, but in this case it was about 9 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and I added anywhere between 4 to 5 pounds per tire, and it was able to do that with 50% battery remaining. And I kind of interestingly enough, I put in a total of 17 psi and it took about half the battery. So that's about 34 psi that it'd be able to add to a tire. So that's basically filling up a car tire from flat one time on the battery. It did a very good job. The pump seems very strong. So I was impressed with that. And overall did not heat up very much, which is very good as well. So after using this now for a bit, my first impressions are I really like that long hose length. I really like that it has the quick release connector. That's awesome. I'm also liking the battery life and the fact that the battery gauge is actually useful. A lot of these, for some reason, even my bigger Black & Decker, as soon as you start pumping something up, the battery bar drops to almost nothing. It's almost like with all the power draw, the battery indicator is not really accurate until you shut it off and turn it back on, let it rest for a bit. This thing, even when you're pumping stuff up, it doesn't dip at all. That gauge is like perfectly accurate right to the end. Gives you a little notice when the battery gets low. So that's really handy as well. And overall, it seems durable. I had it shaking on concrete as I was using it, and it didn't really scratch the back at all. It also seems like it dissipates heat very well, so I expect this will last, a pretty long time. And overall, it just seemed, out of all the portable air compressors I've used, this one just seems to be one that does a little bit better of a job than some of the others, in the sense that it just seems like it pumps up faster. The compressor seems like it's pumping a lot quicker than some of the smaller ones. So it just felt more like a regular compressor, but in a pocket size, if that makes sense. So overall, really liking that. I also like that you can charge things up with that USB-C connection. That's really cool. I do kind of wish the buttons maybe were a little more intuitive. So it's just one of those things you just have to read the instructions on to know what button does what, and it's pretty easy to figure out. So you just kind of have to work through it. But overall, I'm very impressed with this product. I hope this review was a little bit helpful for you if you're thinking about buying one. Leave a note in the comments if you have any questions or thoughts, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.